How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, I see you moving and shaking out here, so I wanted to get you on the show. So, I really appreciate you for joining the show, and please tell the people that may not know who you are and what you do, who you are.
Okay, well, hi everyone. My name is Jahylin McKee. I am a publicist and small business owner based out of New York and Atlanta. I work in the entertainment industry. I work with lifestyle brands, music, fashion, you name it. I've probably done it. I do a little bit of event production. I do brand management. I do talent management. I do a little bit of everything, consulting. But what people mainly know me for is my PR work.
Yeah. I know you said New York and Atlanta. So where are you originally from, and where are you based right now? You in Atlanta or you in New York?
Yeah, so as you all know, COVID, Corona, it hit New York the most. So I live in New York, but I'm down here in Atlanta right now. I'm from Atlanta,
Okay.
but here right now in the midst of waiting for things to pass on over.
Yeah, for sure. So, and how did you originally get into PR?
It's so funny, like it's such a full circle moment. The lady who came on before me, Jennifer, she actually gave me my first opportunity in the industry. I don't even know if she remembers, honestly.
Wow.
But back in 2017, I had graduated from Savannah State University, and I turned down a job in corporate America, in technology field to be exact. And I said I wanted to, get into the industry. I wanted to get into music industry, and
Yeah.
so I took a leap of faith, and I moved to Harlem, moved to New York. I lived on my homegirl's couch,
Yeah.
who was also an alum of Savannah State. That's where I met her.
Okay.
I crashed on her couch for 8 months, but I actually moved there June 2017. And my very first gig was doing Summer Jam.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Uh-huh.
Summer Jam, and I remember being connected with Jennifer on email, and I remember going up to Hot 97. Can you see me?
Yeah. You back. Somebody must have
Okay,
called you.
sorry, my phone. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone for some odd reason, every time I go on live, everybody wants to call me, but and I had my phone
Yeah.
not disturbed, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I always literally have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb in order to like even go.
I don't know what. Anyway, so yeah, but I remember going. I remember like I moved to New York with like $500 in my name, and I remember like just taking a lift to Hot 97, and I was just so nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't realize the Ubers were so expensive out there. But I remember Ubering there to meet up with her because I wanted to be on time. It was my first time ever being in New York, so I didn't
Yeah.
know trains. So I didn't want to risk trying to figure out how to take the trains, going to go work for Jennifer. Um,
Yeah.
and then after that, um, I had to be in Jersey at the Met Stadium
Oh,
for Summer Jam, and I Ubered there, and I didn't realize how much the Uber would be to go to Jersey from Harlem. So
yeah.
that was like my first. That was like my first. That was how I got into the industry, volunteering for Summer Jam, and then from there, like the rest has been history.
Yeah. So being that you were new in New York, kind of, you know, doing your thing, how did you start networking and getting clients and things like that on the PR side?
I So I think my work started speaking for itself. I'm really big on work ethic. I'm the type of person that'll get there. I'll be the first person there, and I'll be the last person to leave.
Yeah.
Um, at the time, when I was doing Summer Jam, I was working under TT Torres. I was just kind of like her little PA for the day,
Yeah.
walking around with her. I was on my feet for like 12 hours. And it was a few of us who started in the beginning, like, with someone like her, she was doing the artist relations. So she was making sure like every time a top talent would come, we was
Yeah.
there and waiting for them at the door, taking them backstage, taking them to their dressing room, and we were on feet for 12 hours straight, and
Yeah.
people were just dropping like flies throughout the day. It was like, oh, like someone was like, oh, can I go get a break? She'd be like, okay, go take a break, don't come back. Like, okay, can I go do this? Okay, cool, like, don't come back. And I was the only one who was like, who was
Yeah, I'm good.
and she was like, you good? I'm like, I'm great. And so by the end of the night, it was probably about like maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. And I remember she like pulled me to the side and she was like, like what you did today, like a lot of people can't do. Like, I admire that and I respect that. And so, I want to help you as much as I can.
Yeah.
And it was like, let's exchange numbers and let's stay in touch. Because at the time, I actually was trying to get a job at Hot 97, which I ended up doing. And so
Okay.
she helped me get a job there. So I was like working with her on the side. And then I ended up being on the street team at Hot 97.
Uh-huh.
If anybody knows anything about a street team, it's a real humbling experience.
Uh-huh.
I was just happy to be in the room. And that has always been my mentality. I may have not been the most knowledgeable at the time.
Yeah.
But eventually, like, I was going to put forth the work ethic and I was going to just be present, think 10 steps ahead and just do the best that I could. And so from there, she put me in contact with Remy. And then so I got a chance to be Remy's social media manager, her personal assistant. Shout out to Remy. I love her.
Yeah.
That was literally like my kickstart into the industry. Like my life went from like 0 to 100 real quick. I was taking 3 flights a day. I was on sets of music videos, and I was in the most craziest places you can think of. I remember one time, like I remember like the guy, my friends who I was staying with, they had a camera, and one time Remy was like, you take pictures, and I was like, I can, and I was like, I got a camera, and I didn't even ask him. I'm like, I had to beg him. I'm like, can I please use your brand new camera?
We gonna figure it out.
You crazy? And I'm like, please. I didn't tell this lady I'm a photographer.
But see, that's being resourceful, and
I was resourceful. I had to make lemonade with the lemons that I had.
Yeah.
I remember I didn't know what I was doing, and I graduated from Savannah State with the mass comm degree. So I'm hitting up all my mass comm people like, yo, can you edit this picture for me and send it back? And I only got this amount of time. I remember being in the back of the black SUVs trying to like upload the pictures after we finished the event. Like, I'm like, what? I remember I was a videographer. I'm like, yo, I had to hit someone up. I'm like, yo, like, can you put together this for me? I only got like an hour, but like, can you help me? I'll pay you later. Like, whatever you need, like, I'll help you later.
Being able to do a little bit of everything. Like, you look, this how my show started. I've been editing my videos, and like, it don't have to be the best. And then like right now with the way people are doing Zoom interviews and just live interviews, like,
it's crappy. You got to think on your feet, and that was the theme of my life for the first year in New York. It was just figure it out. I had to figure out how to take the subway. I had to figure out how to do whatever needed to be done to get the job done. But that was like the foundation of like how things got started, and then from there, I went to a talent agency. So I was working at Partners. And that's like, the home of the Migos and J. Cole and Music Soul Child and SZA. So I got a chance to like learn the music side, like the music business side of the industry. I learned, like that's how artists mostly get their bread and their butter. Like having those great relationships with different venues and, just talent bookers and, just learning the different venues in each city. Shout out to Jordan Bailey. He's actually my business partner who is a talent agent now. So it's a full circle moment because now, like, because I had that experience coming up, like me and him can collaborate and we can partner for my clients to get them shows that like at SOBs like this past December. I partnered up with Jordan and we brought London B to New York City. I did the PR side, but he got her booked. A headline show with Flip De Niro. So Those are just like some of like the little things that I've done, but along the way, like I was in, like I didn't just come out, and a lot of people think that I just kind of came out of nowhere and just started PR. Like I had to do the hard and the ugly jobs first. I started off doing social media management because that was my specialty. I've always been good at social media. I've always figured it out. That's something that I was just always passionate about. And then from there, I always knew in the back of my mind I wanted to do PR, but I knew social media was going to get me in the door. That's what I did for Remy. And from there, I started just like taking on my friends as clients, like, yo, like, let me do this for you. Like, let me practice on you. And so it started working. And so I started like just networking with people. I started just going outside, like anytime there was a mixer or anytime there was an event, like I was just trying to be in the room. And then from there, people were like, yo, you do PR? Like, oh, I seen you this and this and this and that. I'm like, oh yeah. And so I started, what really like kind of took off for me with PR was, I remember I used to stalk Cardi B's publicist. Like I was like, after working with Remy, I was like, you know, the talent is great, but I need to know who are the people behind these brands. Like who is the team? Like those were like my superheroes. Like everyone has someone who they look up to. I'm always looking up, like I want to know like who's the publicist of such and such. So like who is the publicist of Beyonce? Like I wanted to know like the people who were
but those are the people that give the looks. Like
correct. So I was like, you know, like who are these people? So I remember like Cardi B was like on top at the time back in 2017. She was on fire, and I'm like, who is behind this brand? Like I need to know who they are. And when I hit that lady up every day. I was very persistent. I DM'd her, I emailed her, I sent my email. I'm like, yo, like who is this? And she actually was responding back to me. I wanted to know like who was around her, who was her assistant, who was her, you know, like who was her manager, who was her videographer. And so like that's how I got in. I found out she had a junior publicist, so I followed him. I started hitting him up, but I didn't do it in a way like that's the thing nowadays. Like I feel like you gotta pay your dues and you gotta be persistent, but you can't be stalker. Like you can't be borderline crazy. And so I remember one time she put a post out. I had all her post notifications on my phone. And I remember she was like, I'm looking for some volunteers in LA for the weekend. Who's in LA? And I remember like I hit her up, I'm like, I'm in LA.
Straight in.
Mind you, I was not in LA. I was not in LA. And I remember I was actually visiting my little sister. She had just crossed, AKA, at her university. And I was coming there to visit her. Unfortunately, I'm a Delta, so I was a little like, oh, whatever. But I was out there visiting her for the weekend, and I saw that post. And my dad was gonna buy me a flight to go back to New York, and I said, matter of fact, can you buy me a flight to go to LA instead? And he's like, where are you gonna stay? I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out.
We'll make it.
Right. So I sent my resume to her junior publicist, and he hit me up that night, like at like 10 o'clock at night. He's like, yeah, so like, you know, are you in LA? I'm like, yes. He's like, you know, can you do this event? Da, 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 da. I'm like, yes. And so he was like, all right, I'll see you. He was like, all right, I'll see you in 2 days. I'm like, I'll be there. He gave me the information. I was in a Lyft because I had family in LA, but they were like maybe like an hour and a half outside of LA. But I was willing to make that drive every day. I actually met a soror, one of my sorority sisters, who was in a Lyft with me. And we found out, like, just by like having small talk with the driver, we found out that we were sorority sisters. And we were both sitting in the back seat because it was an Uber
the jump.
You know, it was Uber pool. And so when we found out we were sorority sisters, we was like, oh my gosh. And so she was like, what are you doing here? I said, well, you know, I'm figuring it out. I just got this cool opportunity to work for an amazing person, and you know, I'm just figuring out. She's like, oh, well, you know, I live in downtown LA. You could just come stay with me.
Oh wow!
I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So like I didn't know this girl from a can of paint, and I stayed with her off the strength of the bond. And
Yeah.
and we still keep in touch today. But like that's one of the most beautiful things about joining a sisterhood and being a part of a sorority, that like that like we came from the same walks of life, but like we may not know each other, but I know like you're my sister. So that was that dope opportunity. And then from there, I was mind blown. I said, "Oh, I'm about to like, oh, let's get it. Like I'm about to kill it." And I was so excited, and I killed it. And I remember she asked me, she was like, "You want to be?" She was like, "You want to be my assistant?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes!" And I remember crying, and I'm like, "I risked it all. Like this is what the grind is about. Like this is why I did it."
Like, yeah, that's like what it's really, really about, you know?
Yeah, I was like all my hard work, on my sacrifices, because I was out there broke. I was broke as hell. And I remember just like, I was like, oh, like, I just remember like praying, like, thank you, God, like all of my hard work did not go in vain. I'm finally starting to see the fruits of my labor.
Yeah.
And from there, like, people started seeing, like, okay, like, you doing this, you doing that, you doing this. So my name started speaking for myself because, again, social media is the game. And so I already kind of had how to brand myself on point. It was just a matter of, like, I wanted to start, like, posting the results and, like, posting the work to let my work speak for itself. And so from that experience and just learning and failing forward and just everything in between, that's when I just like, all right, let me go ahead and make this official. So like I bought my LLC. I took my butt on Rocket Lawyer. I just purchased it. And then from there, I'm like, we open for business. And so by the time I launched, I made like this cute, like official launch. Like I did the most. I'm an extra person. And everybody was just like everyone was just so supportive of me. I've had a very supportive system of people around me from the time they knew I like took that leap of faith and I moved to New York.
Yeah.
It was like, it didn't matter what I did. If I said I was going, if I wanted to be a chef, everyone was like, oh, like,
Yeah. Cooking. Yeah. For sure. So,
with PR, and for the longest, a lot of people didn't know what PR was. They're like, I don't even know what you're doing, but I'm gonna support you. And so, from there, the rest is history. I thank God that I've been in a position to where like I've just been letting my results speak for itself. I've been blessed to, like have a work ethic that can, help me reach another level up. Every year, I feel like I get so excited because like I always outdo the year before. So like, I started off right. Like I started strong, but like every year, like personally, like underneath my name, because I never wanted to get to a point, and that's what made me go harder. I was always name dropping people and things that like, oh yeah, like I worked at this company, like oh yeah, I worked with this person, or yeah, like, and that was cool. But at a certain point, right, like at a certain point, I'm like, yo, like I need my name to start speaking for itself. Like I need for Jahylin McKee to start ringing bells. Like I'm not going hard enough. If people don't know who Jahylin is, like I ain't like it's cool. It's cool that I'm working for Cardi B's publicist, but like you gotta start doing shit so that way people be like, yo, I'm working for Jahylin McKee. And so that was what kind of kept me going and kept me motivated. And so, I'm just blessed to still be standing here today.
So for people, you got about a minute on the live, it run out. So
Okay.
Tell people, how do they connect with you if they want to work with you, or or anything like that. What do they need to do?
My name, everything you want to know is on my Instagram. Is Life is Jahylin, LifeJahlyn. Dessie, you spelled my name wrong down there, but it's okay. But if you go to www.jmckeenco.com, you can find everything that you need to know. Or even if you just put my name in Google, everything will come up because my name is spelled so different. It's Jahlyn.
See, that's where I messed up, like Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Thank you so much for being on the show, and I'm gonna connect with you offline as well, because I love your energy and I love everything that you're working on. So we got to figure it out.
Thank you again for having me.
Yeah, I hope you have a good day, and ATL.
All right.
All right, bye.